Hello everyone, it's Mark Scholero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and I'm coming right back at you with another spectacular vehicle. Today, love is in the air. I'm sitting behind the wheel of a 1964 Porsche 356 SC that is completely restored to show quality condition. You gotta check this out. To start off this video here, this is a non-rehearsed video. There's going to be a lot of information that I do forget during the presentation, so please visit our website at msclassiccars.com for a complete description with a ton of highly detailed photos. If you have or have not been following MS Classic Cars, please note, I only collect number 1 and number 2 condition vehicles. We've been doing that since inception. We also are very proud to say we are the only classic car dealership in the country who services everything that we sell, and we document that work with an invoice. Regardless of who the restorer was, who the builder was, these cars need to be sorted out. As an example, in this brand new binder that I do provide for every car we sell, we have an invoice here that documents all of this work. So even though this car was in beautiful condition, it was something I was extremely excited to buy, we had to sort it out, and we invested $7,351.75 getting it prepared for its new owner. Now, once the vehicles are done in service and we go through them all, we bring them into our detail room. We spend countless hours detailing these cars. We make them as cosmetically perfect as we can. And then, of course, we present them as we're doing here today. So please, if you don't know about MS Classic Cars or understand our process, please do your homework, check out our website, send me an email, call me if you'd like. Be more than happy to go into more detail. So let's talk a little bit about Porsche. I am a member of the PCA. I am a huge fan of Porsche. We have had many vintage Porsches, newer Porsches here over the years, 912s, 911s, 930s, and so forth. But the one vehicle that I've never been able to find that kind of tickled my fancy, if you will, was a 356. These are one of my favorite cars of all time. I think if I were to make a list of my top 10 favorite cars, if I were to kind of make my own collection, if you will, that I could never sell, the 356 would be in that collection. I think these cars were extremely stylish considering the time frame. I love the fact that they're super spacious. Here I am, 6 foot, 200 pounds. I have a ton of room in this car. I might even have to move the seat up forward. It's that roomy inside. I just love the fact that they're rear engine, they're air cooled. Just everything about a 356 I love. So when I was out looking for all these years, you know, we've had almost 1,000 cars in the MS Classic Cars collection. Over 750 of those couldn't be documented on our website sold page. You got to check that out. I've seen so many of these cars over the years, but maybe it was the quality of the restoration. Most of them aren't restored to the higher level. Most of them are just driver quality. So you see the bodies are wavy, the paint isn't nice, the glass is all scratched. Then you get into the interiors, and they're kind of Mickey Mouse in the interior. When I say Mickey Mouse, I'm referring to the quality. A lot of things need to be done. Then, of course, when you make your way to the engine compartment or under the front trunk lid or underneath the car, it just gets worse and worse. So sometimes when I do find the ones that are super nice, maybe they're not matching numbers, maybe I'm not digging the color combination. Well, when this particular vehicle was listed, and it was actually through a referral of mine, a gentleman that I've done some business with in the past, had sent a picture to me of the vehicle. I saw it, I absolutely fell in love, not only with the quality, but the color combination, the way it sits, the interior, it's just an absolutely amazing car. I am so proud to have this car. So just want to make sure I made all that clear. What I'm going to do is on my website, what I do is I always kind of compose the first paragraph here with as much information as possible. It tells a little bit about the history of the car, etc., etc. I am going to read this. It's just a paragraph here, so we'll go into it. I put this handsome 1964 Porsche 356 SC is a superb example of a fully restored and matching numbers classic sports car. It's accompanied with the copy of the Kardex, which lists the original delivery information as well as the factory drivetrain serial numbers. What's great about Porsche, as some of the other manufacturers have done, like Jaguar as an example, or Triumph does, they would keep very detailed records. This is what's called the Kardex. There's another thing from Porsche called the Certificate of Authenticity. They're kind of both the same thing. And what this does is it tells the serial number of the car, it tells the motor number, what the original color combination was, etc., etc. So you know what the car was when it was new. That is included with this particular car. You can actually check that out within our photo gallery. So the 356 Porsche, first production vehicle that was produced from 1948 to 1965. The 356 is a lightweight and nimble handling rear engine, rear wheel drive, two-door, available both in a hardtop and open configurations. The 356 was built in 4 distinct series. The original, which is the Pre-A, followed by the 356A, 356B, and finally the 356C. Just to make sure everybody's clear on those model distinctions. The latest version of the 356 was the 356C, which was introduced in the 1964 model year. It featured disc brakes all the way around, as well as the option for the most powerful pushrod engine Porsche ever produced, the 95 horsepower SC. That's what this vehicle is here today. Again, this is something very special. As documented, this example was purchased by Mr. John Englin of Hanford, California. That's on the Kardex form. That's where that information came from. From the original information gathered, it spent its life in California until 2021. A copy of a California title showing the first year sold of 1964 is included. The car was a product of a rotisserie restoration, which was believed to be completed in 2019. It's in show quality condition, including a detailed undercarriage. It was refinished in its original color combination of enamel blue exterior with a trim tan leather interior, which is truly remarkable. The car is powered by its original matching number 1600 SC engine in a period correct 4-speed manual transaxle. The chassis badge, chassis identification tag, and chassis stamp are all present. You can see those in all of our photos in our photo gallery, clearly document that. All the numbers align to the 356 body and ID numbers chart, which is also included. An original owner's manual and toolkit is also included. An example like this does not come around very often. So that's kind of the overview of the car, a little bit of the Porsche 356 history, and the history of this particular car here. So as we get into the exterior, as I mentioned earlier in the video, these cars are not always straight. I would say that this car is very, very straight. I believe from the information I've gathered, it does retain all of its original sheet metal, which is important. I cannot document that. Again, I do not have restoration photos, but I'll tell you just based on what I've gathered and what I've learned, I believe it to have all of its original sheet metal. Again, the car's body is absolutely beautiful. When you look at the gap lines, that's the other thing with these cars sometimes that can be really sloppy, if you will. This car's got really nice gap lines. The doors open and close really tight. So does the engine cover and so forth. It's just really is a nicely done body. Of course, the paint, which I think is the most gorgeous color on this car, especially with this color interior. That enamel blue paint is absolutely beautiful. If you have not seen this color in person, stunning is the only way that I really can describe it. Again, it's probably the #1 reason that I purchased it, besides the condition, was the color of the car, and the fact that it was born this color makes it even more special. Getting into all of the glass work on the car, the front windshield was replaced at some point, probably during the restoration. All of the remaining glass in the car appears to be original. It's in really nice condition. I would say it's very, very good considering its age. Everything has been replaced, from these rubber moldings to the chrome mirror, the windshield wiper arms and everything, the headlights, the buckets, the fog lights, all your door handles, everything on the exterior looks factory fresh and factory new. You will see in the photos that there is a luggage rack that was an accessory option back in the day. That luggage rack is included. We thought the car looked better without the luggage rack on, so we took most of our photos with it off. I'm sorry, it looks better with it off than it does on. So just make sure to check out the few photos that we have of it on. If you decide to put it on, it literally takes 2 minutes to install. It's really simple, and it does have the leather straps as well. Even the wheels are in beautiful condition. These kind of chrome wheels with the nice chrome hubcaps. Again, everything is in really, really nice shape. On the subject of the tires, I do want to make note here that the wheels are wrapped with Nexen. They're SB 802 tires. They're 165/80/15s, and they have 2019 date codes. Again, I believe when that time the car was restored, which all kind of coincides. So these tires are brand new. This car really has very, very, very little miles on it since it was restored. So again, everything is in beautiful shape. When we make our way to the interior, this is where things even get better, because it's like a endless journey, if you will, of just how beautiful this car is. But as you're sitting in here, as I mentioned earlier, how spacious it is. But looking at this headliner here, the headliner is kind of a white, it's kind of a palmino white color. It's all vented and everything else. It is super tight. It's been done beautifully. Even the guys in the service department said whoever did the upholstery work of that 356 really nailed it. Beautiful headliner. It's got really nice sun visors. The dome lights up here are in working order. A lot of times these do not work. They not only work with manually, but with the door strikers. And there's also a dash light here that also works as well. All of those interior lights are in working order. The dash pad is really spectacular. Again, the color of this interior is spectacular. It's really more of like a brown tan. Again, it matches the exterior perfectly. The dash has been painted, obviously the color of the body. Beautiful show quality paint. All of the gauges here are in beautiful condition. They all have that chrome around them with the, the kind of the greenish font and so forth. All the bright work on this dash, and I'm referring to the bezels and everything else, is like new. I will make a comment here and say that the heat, the clock, talking about the radio, which was restored at one point. We actually got the radio working, all the speakers, the horn, lights, everything is in working order as it should be. Again, I cannot say enough about the interior. The door panels are in beautiful condition. The armrests, these seats have all been completely reupholstered, recovered. They're in beautiful condition. The carpeting, the mat, just everything. Even in the back here, when you look at the rear seats, how beautiful they were done. They have all the straps and everything else. You'll just have to look at all of our photos. We take a lot of photos videos with our presentations so you clearly get an idea of how spectacular something looks, and this car looks absolutely amazing. When we look at the front compartment, the trunk compartment, if you will, all of that was highly restored. That's another area with these cars that they kind of get sloppy. They fall on their face when you start to really look for attention to detail. If you look on the outer edges of this, all of the plastic, all of the things that were done beautifully. Everything was replaced. It does have a full spare. It's a matching spare. It's got the leather strap. It's got that plastic piece that covers everything. If you take that plastic piece out, you'll see the fuel tank is in beautiful condition. Again, all the stampings, all the stuff there is original to the car. It looks, again, super crisp, super clean. And it does have an Optima red top 6-volt battery, which is a great battery. It's an acid-free kind of deal. If you Google them, you'll find out a little information about Optima. And it does also have its toolkit, as I had mentioned earlier, which is also in the front as well. Now, when we look at the rear of the car, open up that engine compartment, it is like a jewelry box. It is so clean in there. Talking about the rear, talking about the sides, looking at that engine, it's a 1600, as I mentioned earlier. It's an SC, 95 horsepower. You will notice the number on the block matches the Kardex number, so it has its original born with motor. The motor runs really, really good. I got into work this morning. I wanted to start this car cold, see how it started. I literally put the key in the ignition. Within 1 second of turning the key, it started. I kept my foot just around 2,000 RPMs to hold it. It does not have a choke system. It's got 2 dual carburetors. And what I wanted to do is kind of just let the engine run nice. It sounded beautiful. After about maybe a minute and a half, I let my foot off the gas. The idle went right down. It purred like a kitten. It's got a really, really nice sound to the engine. Again, you've got to look at all the photos that we have in our gallery to see how detailed it is. In my website description here, again, I just want to reference this. It's powered by its original matching numbers motor. The air-cooled 1.6, they reference it as a 616/16 flat floor. Features dual Solex carburetors with the correct air filters. And again, it was rated at 95 horsepower. Everything was restored or replaced, such as the wiring, the coil, distributor, the wires, the belts, the hoses. They even added the correct tags and stickers and so forth. And again, the engine is coupled to a 4-speed manual transaxle, which has also gone through, completely rebuilt. It shifts beautifully. It is a period correct transmission. What that means is the number on the transmission is somewhat close to the Kardex, so I know it's error correct, but it doesn't match, which means the transmission at some time was replaced. I mean, the car is 1964. These transmissions, it was very common that they were swapped or rebuilt or came from another car or whatever, but it is a period correct transmission. When you look at the undercarriage here, it's also highly detailed throughout with many new parts. The underside was painted in a textured black material, which is very durable. The fuel system, suspension, the components, the braking, the 4-wheel disc brakes, everything has been gone through. And if you compare this example to everything else that's out there, you will clearly see this car stands tall. I am super proud of it, very excited to present it here today. And again, I think the new owner is absolutely going to love this car. So in conclusion, before I start the car, I would ask if you have not signed up for our VIP email blast, please do that. You can do that right off of our website at msclassiccars.com. We have thousands of people that follow us on our email blast. We are also on all the social media networks. We would ask that you follow us on there as well. Again, MS Classic Cars, we're not a big high volume dealer. We don't do consignments. We're not even open to the public. This is a very small operation, but we are doing very big things. So please check us out, do your homework on us. I think you'll agree we're definitely different than everybody else. So again, appreciate you watching this video. Apologize if it was a little bit long. The goal here is to be as transparent as possible for a new buyer, give you as much information as we can. Again, feel welcome to call me, email me. I'm here to help. So again, we're going to go ahead and start this car. Let you listen how beautiful she runs. Here we go. There you go. Starts right up. Sounds absolutely beautiful. We appreciate you watching this video. Rock and roll.